What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. I'm out here, going for a walk out here in nature. You already know, with Fred the dog. Y'all see Fred the dog, Super Fred? Anyways, I'm doing a video about how to stop caring what other people think, as well as, that's pretty much that. Letting go of being hard on yourself as well. So, like, where I'm coming from with this is like sometimes all of us have different demons. All of us have different wrongs we are righting, because to keep it 100, nobody's a saint. Nobody has a clean slate. I don't care who you are. If you are a politician, if you are a police officer, if you are a firefighter, if you are a lawyer, a doctor, a court personnel, if you're any of these fake matrix labels and stuff like that, you have no business trying to pretend like you're perfect and you know it all. Anybody, I'm just using those as examples, but the list goes on. NBA players, NFL players, YouTubers, everything, gym people, landscaper, any type of being on this planet doesn't have a clean slate. And that's common sense. It's just that has to be reminded amongst everyone, And where am I going with this? Because sometimes we can be hard on ourselves about stuff, like I've had a slap on the wrist, getting checked by the universe. But then guess what? It was how I responded, which kept me to keep going forward learning, freely. So I'm bringing that up with the world because, like, maybe you don't have a lot of money. Maybe, your car is all right, It's not like a fancy Lamborghini or whatever, but it's like, it gets you from point A to point B and it's good enough. Maybe there's a who knows, you know what I'm saying? But you're taken care of is the bottom line, okay? And there may be these artificial, robotic type of narcissistic, judgmental people who are constantly just looking at every tiny little detail to criticize, to hold against you, to nitpick, all of this stuff, And that's how you start to learn that true love has no judgment, And that's a blessing in disguise because, to be honest, I have been in a toxic relationship. It was great, highs and lows, but the lows, especially from me being a, health enthusiast and everything, that's an extreme contrast. So, on both sides, it helped me to realize, hey, you know what? You let out how you felt, and it's valid. You know what I mean? It's valid for you to feel, sadness and anger and joy and happiness and laughter and humor and all that stuff, just in a healthy way, because a lot of people, they go way too far. And some people, they don't express themselves at all. So it's like I lucked out. I got blessed by the universe to be in alignment, to be able to learn some of these key essential lessons to keep myself out of destructive scenarios, that don't serve me, and also to realize not to hold it against myself, or hold it against anybody else. And that just goes with everything else, because some of the stuff that happens to us. And for me, it's been over a year and stuff like that. So, like, true mental health is letting go of that stuff that doesn't serve you. Yeah, it's on your path. Yeah, it's on your journey. But at the same time, you're not living in that moment now. So I learned to stop caring what people think, honestly, because most of these little keyboard cyber trolls and stuff online, they don't say any of that stuff to you in real life. And that's the sign of a true man or woman, is someone who can actually come to you face to face and talk to you in real life, civilized and, respectfully, giving you compliments, So I learned that, to be honest, about how to let go of that, because also what I was saying about true love has no judgment, Guess what? It's common sense. Like your love, your spouse, people in general that care about you, yourself, your family, they're supposed to want you to be happy, in love, free. Like you got to listen to your internal condition, your internal being, your internal heart, you know? And if you're finding yourself into thought patterns that, suck and it's not cool at all, then you got to let that stuff go. That's why I say when you know better, you do better. And always seeing things with people with equal eyes. People on different points of their life, but at the same time, I'm speaking from experience. Don't ever put anyone on a pedestal. Let's say you got into an argument or you got into a bunch of fights or whatever with your girlfriend or with your boyfriend or whatever, husband, wife, whatever. And guess what? Y'all have some space and things, didn't work out or whatever, and now y'all need some space or whatever. Guess what? This is what the Matrix tries to do. They try to desensitize y'all, and they try to get y'all to fight and argue still, on past stuff, over, like, you know what I'm saying? And wasting time, trying to argue, trying to judge, trying to do all this stuff. And y'all are stressing each other's out. And y'all are losing money too at the same time. So the point I'm making is like, let go of it, because true, real love is appreciation, and you just get it right. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're early 20s or whatever, and you just fresh out of high school or college or whatever, and boom, you got yourself right to get in a real love relationship, and things start to get real fishy and real ungrateful towards you out of nowhere, then guess what? They're lying. You know what I mean? Because true love is appreciation. True love is cooperation. True love is understanding. True love, it just flows. You know what I'm saying? Like, people on the same page. So that's something I learned too, to save myself in the long run with stuff. Because, when you're in a toxic relationship, or in a relationship where someone switches up on you out of nowhere when they said they're your friend or whatever, it's all about how you respond to the situation. Of course, if you're angry, if you're mad, if you're sad, if you're letting off your chest to tell them to stop gossiping about you or to stop lying, acting like they, are so perfect and they know it all and like they didn't have struggles too. You gotta get real with yourself and be like, hey, guess what? Hold on. They were struggling too when they were with me, Real people don't turn their back and start talking down on someone who they said they loved or whatever. So, my bad, my phone's on 10%. Okay, so yeah. So that's something else I started to learn to help clear my mind up. Because it's true, honestly. Like, that's a true mark of love and mental health and health in general. If someone truly says they love you, this and that, then guess what? They will want to see you healthy and happy. And, they will take in consideration your feelings. You know what I mean? Love is not wanting someone to rot away, in a dungeon. You know what I'm saying? Trapped somewhere like a slave. Like a job that doesn't serve you, like bondage, like some of these facilities that restrain people, Maybe sometimes some people, that's just part of their soul, It's not part of me, And what I've learned is, hey, the more and more I focused on healing myself and working on my responses, the more and more I started to see the good out of stuff that didn't work out. Because I'm like, hey, you know what? I always kept it real. I'm not out here gossiping about none of the women or none of the bros. No, I'm not gossiping about nobody, I'm not gossiping about none of the women I've been with. I'm not gossiping about bros that, I was cool with. Nah, it is what it is. I share the real truth of stuff. I'm not out here making videos tearing someone down. That's why I get so much good support on this page, because it's easy. I could easily make videos ridiculing celebrities, ridiculing past relationships that didn't work out, ridiculing the whole world, putting people on spot. But guess what? I don't. You know why? Because that's just negativity. Extreme negativity and toxicity is gossip, and it doesn't serve me at all. So I don't do it. And that's I'm a true genius, So I'm just sharing that with y'all. Like, in your own inner world, especially when you're alone or whatnot, you speak with God, you speak with the universe, whatever you want to call it, and you know what's true within you, okay? About love, this and that. So don't let any of these little tests, bring the worst out of you. That's the point I'm making. Because ultimately, truthfully, and that's why I love seeing, senior citizens and elders, mentors and whatnot, like really old, like 90s and whatnot, because they inspire us to, focus on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Not to give up on ourselves, to realize our own self-worth, to realize the truth of stuff. Like, hey, guess what? If someone truly loves me, this and that, if I truly love myself, then guess what? I'm going to make sure that I'm healthy. I'm going to make sure that I'm, making the best of life. You know what I mean? Even if you don't have much, even if no one's around you, this and that, at least I'm aware of my rights and that I'm free. At least I'm aware that, guess what? I'm soon going to have a lot of love joining me. Guess what? I'm soon going to be manifesting unexpectedly blessings. That's how you move forward. And that's how I've learned too. Because in relationships that don't work out or whatever, guess what? You're not able to lie about that stuff. You know what I mean? Without being in your ego, to be honest. So that's why I just had to let go of stuff, because I'm like, hey, I did everything I possibly was able to do with what I had. And guess what? I don't need to fight for nobody's love. I know who I am. I don't need to prove myself. I've been done enough. I've been proved a whole enough, So why try to chase or fight for someone who is blind to my own greatness, my amazing greatness? I'm not, So I learned, hey, guess what? I'm a free man. I don't owe them nothing. You know what I mean? I owe myself the whole world, to be honest. So that's how I started to, move forward in a healthy way, to be honest. Because otherwise, y'all people that's holding on to stuff, y'all want to battle, feuds, wars, all types of little drama stuff. Guess what? It don't serve you. It don't make no sense at all. You'll learn, like, hey, you get your point across, but at the same time, you're just wasting time. For real. You know what I mean? Especially when you're young, you got to be, that's why I'm so inspired, because I'm here to live a long life. So I'm not going to be wasting it, dispersing my energy on stuff that doesn't serve me, So I have the simple peace of mind every day that I'm a free man every day. I'm grateful for my learning lessons, and everything. And that's that. Like, in actuality, someone that says they love you, this and that, they should want to see you win. You know what I mean? They should be in alignment and in agreement with you. It's not supposed to be a whole bunch of tit for tat fights, fire with fire, arguments, putting each other down. No, that's not love at all. That's lust, and it's hate and fear. So anyways, the point I'm making is hey, no matter what you've gone through, always remember, hey, at the end of the day, I'm here to become healthier and healthier every day. I'm here to, expand and grow in life. I'm here to have my own business or whatever. I'm here to have my own success, and part of it internally, intuitively, is, guess what? Work on ourselves first. Not to let outside forces influence you in a way of disservice. That's the point I'm making, okay? So, especially love stuff, don't let that stuff mess with your head, because you got to know how amazing and great you are. You got to know that you put everything out 100%, And guess what? If they keep closing the door and they really just are taking you for granted, then guess what? It's their loss, and let it go. That's the common sense, to be honest. It's some deep stuff, it's some real stuff. But we're not playing no games out here. We're not playing no games out here. It's common sense. You're supposed to want to support and uplift one another. You're supposed to want to empathize and open up fully in a transparent manner. Very deep, very expressive. That's what a real connection is. That's what real people do. They're not wanting to see you trapped, locked up, or anything like that. No. So anyways, where I'm going with this is just trust your intuition, your inner oracle, and whatnot to move forward, to do better since we know better. That's the main thing. Doing better when we know better. And not to be hard on ourselves and not even to care about random people, especially that we don't even know. Because guess what? Who cares when you don't know them? Who cares? They're not no saint at all. We could easily tear them up and stoop down to their level and try to gossip and hate on them. But guess what? Does that serve us? No. Nobody want to be out here sitting up trying to argue, tearing each other down all day. There's some people that do. Guess what? I'm not one of them. I'm here to thrive. I'm here to advance. I'm here to expand and receive great loving energy, as well as I'm giving great loving energy. It's that simple. I learned my energy is sacred and precious, and I'm not going to be fooling around with it. So anyways, y'all have an amazing day. It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.